The Sanderson sisters are back and go full-blown Hillary Clinton by wanting the blood of young children to stay youthful. And it's up to a Mary Sue to send them back whence they came. Whip out the Halloween candy, because this sequel is a sugar-free version of a classic in Hocus Pocus 2.
Hello there, you loose units, and welcome back to another episode of Spicy Boy Reviews. I'm, of course, your host, Andrew Iles. Yes, it is our third Halloween review coming up, and a sequel that was 29 years in the making. Hocus Pocus 2, directed by Anne Fletcher, who has directed a couple of well-known films of Step Up, The Proposal, and Hot Pursuit. We begin the film on a flashback back into the 15th century where we meet the Sanderson sisters in their teens. They are banished from Salem by the town pastor because of the patriarchy, and they flee into the forbidden forest of ye old 15th century. No, not that one. Then they bump into a witch in the Forbidden Forest who bestows on them the magical book from the first one, the one that's full of spells. No, not that one. This opening segment is quite entertaining, quirky and funny, and has an echo of the charm of the original film. But don't get too comfortable, because we flash to present day where we meet our protagonist. That's right, the Little Mermaid, Becca, who of course is the key to all of this. Well, it is a Disney movie after all. No floppy-haired 90s boys for you, 2022. We discover that Becca practices witchcraft in the Forbidden Forest, well now it's just the forest of the town of Salem, with her best friend Izzy, but this duo was once a trio. Their other friend Cassie used to be the third witch in the group, but she decided to be a high school cliche and start hanging out with the cool kids, and getting a jock boyfriend who the writers have decided to make special needs in this one, well, as far as I can gather between his actions and dialogue. Just think of the character Chris Hemsworth played in Ghostbusters 2016. Well, Becca and Izzy spend the majority of their nights at the Sanderson sisters' house, which has now become a tourist attraction and a gift shop, all ran by the most inoffensive, non-masculine man that Disney could provide. And for this movie, that's saying something. He gives the girls a candle because apparently it's Becca's birthday on Halloween night, go figure, to burn into the forest while they do spells, which can only go well. Turns out that this gift shop owner has tricked the two girls, Izzy and Becca, and has actually given them the Black Flame candle. Because turns out he's a massive Sanderson sisters fan, and he wants to see them come back from the grave. Then we get the original trio pop up here with Bette Midler, Kathy and Jimmy, and Sarah Jessica Parker. And I've got to say, no word of a lie, they look fantastic. They look like they've just walked off the set from the first film. And they enter the scene with a rendition of Elton John's The Bitch Is Back. But of course they've changed the word bitch to another word, and for those of you playing at home, you get 3 guesses what they've changed it to. This is when the film decides to do a little bit of fish out of water fuckery here with the Sanderson sisters, where they want the blood of children to make them youthful. I think that's out of the first film, if memory serves. But Becca and Izzy don't want to have none of that. So they end up swindling them, take them to a local store and showing them beauty products. Because anti-aging has come a long way since the 15th century. It's funny because it's a commentary on the patriarchy and beauty standards. Turns out though that the sisters have discovered that the mayor of the town is actually in fact a long descendant of the pastor who banished them way back when. And just so happens to be Cassie's father. What a coinkydink! So the remainder of the film is the Sanderson sisters trying to track down the mayor through the town of Salem, and the gift shop owner has to rally up all the ingredients for this big spell that gives them immense powers or some shit. And if you think this all sounds convoluted, you'd be right. Michael Jackson shows up again, of course, from the original film, and is in about 3 to 4 scenes, but of course he's played yet again by legendary Doug Jones. There's also a moment where Bette Midler flies past the window of a gay couple, and this gay couple happens to be watching the first movie of Hocus Pocus. Like, what the fuck? That makes no sense. That's not even really meta, that's just retard. We also get another big musical number in the centre of the town, which bewitches the whole town of Salem here, and it's a rendition of Blondie's One Way or Another. It all leads to a big epic battle in the Forbidden Forest between the Sanderson sisters and Becca using her Emperor Palpatine electricity hands powers. The end! That's it! The film just sort of jumps around and things just happen. It was kind of hard to follow at times. We're like, hang on, wait a minute, where are we going again? What are we doing? It's obviously the outcome of a writer's room and everyone throwing their ideas into a cauldron in the centre of the room, and Bob Chapek looks at them all and goes, Yes. I know modern day Disney fans and third wave femos don't care. Well, they're one and the same, aren't they? But every guy in this film, all three of them, is a fumbling, moronic, idiotic person who comes across as femme AF. Because masculinity is triggering! And also another thing with this film, it doesn't commit to commentating on modern day. Like, you've got the perfect opportunity with the Sanderson sisters playing a bit of fish out of water here, but they didn't really commit to the bit. And everything just comes across as extremely watered down. I think we maybe got 3 references of modern day jokes of like the sisters trying to work shit out. Like you had 2 Roombas instead of a broom. Siri makes an appearance and the sisters think that it's a lady who's been put under a spell and trapped in this speaker. And of course the aforementioned anti-aging cream that they believe is melted down children in plastic containers. Comedy gold! I will actually, however, say that the film looks really good. It looks much darker than the first one. It's obviously all filmed on back lots and sound stages. But like the first film, it just adds to the charm of the fakeness of it all. There's really not much humour in this film at all. Like, nothing really landed that was funny. And in saying that, the film is not that much fun either. It definitely lacks the charm of the original. I honestly started to tune out like about 45 minutes to an hour before the end. Like, I just didn't care what happened. And the lead, Becca, is just the lead, I guess, the modern day lead that we come to expect, where she seems like she's just too cool for school to even be there. Like, calm down, child, you're not Billie Eilish. And I got really, really bored. It's such a letdown because it's a sequel to an absolute classic, and like, I didn't grow up with the original film. It sort of flew under the radar for me. I was watching Predator and Nightmare on Elm Street when the kids at my school were getting into the first film. But I did review the first film last Halloween on this very channel, and I looked at it through fresh eyes, and even then, as an adult, you can see the charm and the love for that movie. But this one is eye-rollingly forgettable. Also, I know it was filmed on backlots and stuff, but where are the trick-or-treaters in the suburban streets? It was bare, there was really no one there. I mean, it's Halloween, come on guys, the streets should be littered with people. At least Halloween Kills got that right. Anyway guys, that's my review of Hocus Pocus 2 Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, a bit of a letdown. A sequel that's 29 years later, I mean, what could you kind of expect, I guess? But anyway guys, write down below if you're a fan of the original film, because by God, go watch that instead. And of course, if you made it this far into the episode, please give me a thumbs up because your love and support keeps me going. Because I just love movies and I assume you do as well. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe icon because we give out episodes weekly. And we'll see you back here next week for the next Halloween review. And until then, stay spooky, kids.